Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, Wanderers. It's time once again to board Babylon 5 as we watch Season 1, Episode 14, wait for it, TKO. Technical knockout, I'm assuming is what that stands for, which is basically how I feel after each episode I watched. I am reeling, I've got the comical, cartoon stars around my heads, but friends, you've all been there too. Before we can do anything else though, if you could do me a huge favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to board Babylon 5. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. I believe I'm 4 or 5 episodes ahead over there, my friends, so please join us if you so desire. And of course, if you don't like Patreon, stick with us here on YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes about a day early, plus any bonus episodes we come up with. But my dear friends, all that is then. And thank God this is now. It is time to watch Babylon 5 Season 1, Episode 14, TKO. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go.
Well, it was a pleasure traveling with you, Mr. Smith. It's not every day you meet a man with such an interesting calling.
Same here, Rabbi. Take care.
Shalom.
That guy's voice, man.
Боже мой.
He's Russian. Oh, Ivanova, I wonder.
My, slappers. With a med lab seal yet. And I bet you two beauties are a couple of brain surgeons, huh?
Mike's a lefty.
This is Garibaldi. I got a smiling pair of 10-15s for you, dealing in stolen.
Mike!
One of these days, Garibaldi, you're gonna learn to watch your back.
Walker Smith.
Oh, man, this guy's a main dude? All right.
Wasn't pretty, but it brought me passage back to Earth and a boxing license.
Oh, he's a fighter. TKO.
I heard some stuff about you too, Garibaldi.
You believe it?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! Oh, I already love that dynamic.
10 years after the Earth-Minbari War.
Chills. Every time I hear this now, chills. What an amazing concept for a show, too. You know, this oasis to try to keep peace in the galaxy. Such an awesome idea.
It's wrapped in 2,500,000 tons of spinning metal.
All alone in the night. Oh, God.
Be a dangerous place.
Love Sinclair, too. I was on the fence until I saw The Gathering.
The year is 2258. The name of the place is
Babylon 5. Okay, so the rabbi, he spoke in Russian, I believe. And so I'm wondering if that has anything to do with Susan. And we have Walker Smith, a boxer who's a friend with Garibaldi's and also saved his ass. He was taking that knife right in the back. Now, there was plenty of security guards coming, so chances are he wouldn't have died, but that's a knife in the back. Oh, this is cool.
You drench in ketchup and you'll swear you're back in that place on Cestus.
Where the waitresses all had 3.
There you. As I recall our first meeting, you were about 9 sheets to the wind and taking apart a hole of peep in Fortune City.
Until you've been a shock stick over my brain pan, which you never would have done had I seen you coming.
I love this. Good stuff. Ellison. That's great. That's great.
Suzuchka, it's so good to see you again.
Rabbi Kozlov.
Kozlov.
You must be tired. Please sit down. Can I get you anything?
No, the seat I'll take.
Ha.
Andrei's death was a great sorrow for all of us. Your legacy. I was going to give it to you after his funeral, but you weren't there.
The station was in a crisis at the time. I couldn't get away.
He came all the way out here? Wow, wow, wow.
I haven't sat Shiva.
But it can still be done. I'll sit with you. I'll arrange everything.
I'm afraid I can't.
She has no time.
I'm staying over in the sanctuary area in, what do you call it?
Blue 3. I'll take you there.
No.
The station's, whether it's safe is touch and go.
Blue 3, 2000. Such mishigas.
Came all the way out here, first time in the stars.
So after I beat Atagi,
Look at those costumes, awesome.
they said they would make it worth my while to retire for a few years.
So you told him to stuff it.
And I wasn't that polite about it. I worked long and hard for a title shot, and I didn't think there was anything they could do.
That's when they framed you?
Like a picture. Doctored my blood test to make it look like I was popping adrenals.
Oh, wow.
I earned that shot, Mike. I sweated for it, I bled for it, I dreamed of it. And they took it away from me like it was nothing. Like I was nothing.
So why'd you come to Babylon 5?
Put a fight on.
The Muay Thai isn't a prize fight, it's a meat grinder. No rounds, no rules, no gloves. Just take your opponent out.
Blood sport.
So I figure I come up here, bust a few snakeheads, make a big splash in the nets. The corp will be begging me to fight the champ.
Walker, you're gonna get yourself killed, bud.
I'm an old friend of the Ivanov family, and I wish to speak to you about Susan.
Please, have a seat.
Jeff is constantly busy.
You are aware of the recent death of Susan's father?
No.
Yeah, he was never told.
I understand she was speaking to him from here the moment he died.
She never said anything about it.
Neither did Garibaldi.
I'm not surprised. Susan has always been very private about such matters. A year later, when her brother Ganya was killed in the Minbari Wars,
Did we ever got his name? Ganya.
to offer comfort and also help fulfill the obligation of prayer for the departed.
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Another religious episode. Amazing.
Now, if you could possibly grant her a few days' leave.
Certainly. She can take as much time as she needs.
I'm not sure she's going to appreciate this.
This Babylon 5 of yours, phew, Nesgadol, a great miracle.
Thank you.
No one ever gives Jeff any props, too, for running this place. Thank you, Rabbi.
It's Triel. It's sort of fish. The Centauri raisin.
Really?
So how are things back home?
They changed, they stayed the same. Russia is Russia.
He said humanity had no business in space until we could learn to live in peace on Earth. And you know how he felt about Earth Force.
Sort of makes sense.
Is that why you won't sit Shiva?
No, I told you my duties won't allow it.
Let's see how this goes.
You spoke to the commander about this?
Yes. Fine man.
You should not have done that.
I didn't think she'd...
My father always tried to control my life when he was alive. I don't need anyone to take his place now that he's gone. Please excuse me.
She's built stability for herself. She has an order to her life. Oh, what a beautiful restaurant. Oh. No, I knew that because Susan's incredibly disciplined. Like, she's, you know, I mean, she's stoic. She's absolutely, I knew that this would be, she doesn't want to do this. There's some good choreography. That backhand fist was...
This place is only for Mutare. Go.
Relax, E.T. I'm looking for the Mutado.
Jesus.
Humans, do not fight in the Mutai. Go back to Earth. Walker Smith.
Who the hell are you?
Watch out.
And I say, go back to Earth.
Cool character.
You knew who he was all the time?
Hey, look, you want to get your head handed to you, and I think it's a lousy idea, so sue me.
Ah,
These aliens may be just snakeheads to you, but the Muay Thai means something to him. You treat it like a tank fight. Oh, come on, man, don't be like
Stroke
that.
off.
is stroke off like an F off? I'm going to go with F off.
Who in the hell are you?
I am Caliban,
Caliban.
but it must be done properly, with respect, and it will require great courage.
Do you need someone to like sponsor you?
I wanted to offer my condolences on the death of your father.
Thank you.
Why didn't you request leave to attend the funeral?
Don't pry, Jeff.
But since P5 is quiet now, I'm granting you indefinite leave to sit Shiva for your father.
Yeah, don't pry, Jeff.
Have a chair.
I prefer to stand.
That's an order.
She's an awesome officer, man.
You're the best officer I've ever served with, Ivanova. I couldn't run this station without you. Susan, before you make that choice, make sure you know what it is you're really feeling.
That was good, Jeff. You can't pry, you can't push.
See you tonight.
All right, but if this is some kind of hose job...
That's exactly what it is. Look at that alien right in front of them with a split face. Holy shit. Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's good. What is it?
Yolk tree. Fried tree worm.
Well, if it's good, I mean.
Lukar of the Drazi, the bravest of his race.
Drazi? I've heard of them before.
Master of the Mutai, bravest of the brave, Gior.
Gior? The Drazi was the first ship to show up that wanted to kill Deathwalker. It's like palm strikes. Dude, stay down. I don't even think he threw a punch.
Who is brave enough to challenge such a one?
I am.
Oh boy.
Are you nuts?
Yes, he is.
By their rules, the showrun accepts a direct challenge. I get to fight, no matter what anyone else says.
Jesus, Walker's gonna kill you, man. You know, Mike's a tall guy, so Walker's obviously pretty tall too.
But I am the bravest of my race. And when I face him in the Mutai, their fear will be gone.
Look, he doesn't know what he's saying. This is a mistake.
Do not interfere.
There's nothing illegal going on here, Mike.
The challenge is accepted. In 3 cycles, the Mutai will take place.
Is that what he meant by the 3, or was that just a general salute? Damn, Walker.
You, all of you, you intrude upon our worlds, make mockery of our customs, meddle in matters you do not understand.
Jeez, so this has become a political thing now. Great. Cool shot.
I handle things badly. I brought your legacy.
Came all this way.
My father was not a loving man, but in his own way, I always felt he loved me.
That's enough.
And when Mother took her life and Ganya died, still he couldn't find a shred of love for me. So I left.
He couldn't afford to show it.
You cannot run away from your own heart, Susan. Not even in space.
Thank you for bringing Samovar.
Great scene for her. I think it's the best scene. Both of them did a hell of a good job. So what's Caliban's angle in this?
Did well last night, Arthur.
Garibaldi, Caliban. He's the one that told me about challenging the showrun.
And what's your angle, pal?
Yeah.
Garibaldi will also stand kowtow to me.
As you wish. You must honor the Mutado.
Is it like your second or your corner?
Listen very carefully.
Is he hoping that he can beat him where he failed, or is he just feeding him up to him?
You'll take care of yourself?
Yes.
You're very dear to me, Suzuchka. As you were to Andrei, even if he never said it.
Really cool character.
May God keep you in his thoughts.
You too.
If you have something to say, buddy, it looks like he had something to say.
How proud I am of you, Susan.
This is the last communication. Wow.
Last job, but he kicks like a mule.
What is a mule?
You're training one. Buy you some dinner?
Sounds good. Give me a minute.
Ask him, Garibaldi.
Has he got a chance?
You will fight bravely.
That's not what I asked.
As ex-Sports Corp boxing star Walker Smith prepares to be the first human to fight in the Mutai.
What did I tell you, Mike? History.
You're gonna die, dude.
To be the best, you have to face the best. I could take Vasaro on crutches, but Gior, he's gonna show me where my heart is.
That's what Ric Flair said. Be the man, you gotta beat the man.
I'm gonna turn in. See you tomorrow, buddy.
Walker. You're the best I've ever seen.
Oh, man, dude, this guy's gonna die. Oh, he's gonna die, man.
Lieutenant Commander,
Yes, sir?
I believe it's customary for friends to pay their respects
Yeah.
during Shiva. I'll see you there.
Jeff is so informed. Jeff really makes it a point to, especially with like religion and cultural significances, he makes it like really, he really knows what's going on.
It is time.
Let's do it.
I don't trust Caliban at all.
Your father felt that Kasharev would be personally responsible for the destruction of Russian culture.
Exactly. But he was invited to a reading. So after the reading, there was a question and answer session. And for days, I'd been formulating the perfect question. And I asked my question.
And?
He promptly said that it was the most foolish thing that he'd ever heard, and he had no intention of bandying words with a bourgeois little twit who was barely out of diaper.
And what did your dad say?
But then Papa stood up.
Yeah.
And he said that his daughter was neither bourgeois nor a little twit and had been out of diapers for many, many years, while Kasharev's writing had yet to rise above the contents of those garments.
Whoa. That's awesome. What a juxtaposition. You know, the honor of her father, memory of her father, and like a blood sport.
Smith of Earth, the bravest of his race.
I am so scared he's gonna die. Man, oh man. Don't throw the first punch. Man, at least get one in, dude.
Inside, work inside.
There you go. Come on, Walker.
Come on, back up. Stay clear, stay clear.
Jesus. Come on, man. Oh, Christ, a headbutt from that guy? Woo! Super orbital ridges, Jesus. Come on. Oh, he's doing a hell of a lot better than that other dude. Whoo! Oh, look at the milk. Look at the white. Getting pissed. Come on, dude. Jesus, they are beating the shit out of each other. What's this dickhead doing?
Mr. Garibaldi, I have a pickup for you in the Muay Thai.
Nice job, Mike. Oh, Caliban's on his side. I sold you short, Caliban. Come on, man. Don't turn your back. Oh, Jesus.
For sharing this time of...
I thought for sure he was going to get dead. I thought for sure he was getting run over.
You've helped me to find somebody.
Ah, there's Jeff.
I would like to read it in English tonight, so that my good friend Jeffrey Sinclair may share it with us.
It's very touching.
Who has gone to his eternal home. Amen.
Very touching. My God, these guys are still going at it. Dude, you've already proven everything you need to prove. They hardly have anything on these punches, man. Both of them. I don't know if he can knock him out. Just haymakers. Like, there's all defense is gone. It's just like, who can take the most? Yeah, you tell me Walker hasn't shown you something, buddy. Just trading punches. It's like, I hope they both go down. I hope there's a Rocky 2 ending. Good. Awesome. Good. He gave it to them both. Oh yeah, I'm gonna love this. This is the respect thing right here.
Smith!
Oh, that's awesome. Dude. Wow, man. Oh. Go to black. Keep hearing the Smith. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Nes Gadol. Take good care of it.
Hitro.
See? Jeff always makes the effort.
I'm ready to go back on duty, sir.
Good. I've had my fill of double shifts.
Well, perhaps you'll remember that next time Ms. Sakai visits the station.
You fought well in the Mutai. From now on, humans may enter the ring as brothers to all Mutari.
That's awesome. Oh man, keep Walker. Walker's awesome. Keep him on the show.
If you ever return to the Mutai, I will stand Katal for you.
I wouldn't want anyone else.
Honored Smith. Safe voyage.
What a cool little episode, man. We got to learn a lot.
Watch your back.
Yeah, watch your back for knives.
The best I've ever seen.
So good. Oh, every episode is just so enjoyable. All right, everyone, we just finished watching Babylon 5, Season 1, Episode 14, TKO, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everybody, we just finished TKO, the 14th episode of the very first season of Babylon 5. I think this was a very interesting episode to kind of get like a street level idea of what's going on the station, especially with like Terran Earth and everyone else type of relations. We don't really get a chance to see that much. We see like the upper echelon of things, like Sinclair, acting or, kind of interacting with the other aliens, other alien races, which they're going to give him a measure of respect because of his, position of authority aboard Babylon 5. What we really haven't seen is how kind of like it's your everyday Joe, your everyday human, how they're treated on Babylon 5. And again, vice versa, how the kind of like the non-aligned worlds are treated on Babylon 5. And by doing this, I think that this episode, more for what it didn't have in it, showed us, gave us a bit of a story. None of the ambassadors, no Jakar, no Londo, no Delin, no Kosh, none of the major kind of, powers represented in this one. This was street level shit. This was, Walker Smith and Garibaldi, Garibaldi being our like blue collar guy, everybody bring it down as close to the normal, person on the street type of thing that we can get. And did we have any, sure, there was like some Centauri in the background that I saw at the Fight Club, but predominantly, this was like the non-aligned world aliens, which they would be the lowest of the caste system, so to speak, especially on Babylon 5, It's everybody's got a voting member, and then you've got like the non-aligned worlds have a voice basically at the table, but they're all kind of lumped together, So as in the grand scheme of things, and especially in like the way that the power like pantheon is looked at, the non-aligned worlds are very low. And so they gave us kind of the street level, everyday man, humans kind of down there. What's going on? How's that relationship going? Because most of our stuff is limited to like how the alien races interact with Sinclair or, and Garibaldi, but everything's animosity towards Garibaldi because of his position of being security. But like also Susan, there's a measure of respect, the aliens. But again, that measure of respect probably goes hand in hand with the fact that you're dealing with members of, they have power, they have authority here on Babylon 5. Susan and Jeffrey are basically running the whole joint. So, the aliens are certainly going to extend a little bit more respect that way. But in this episode, in TKO, we got to see exactly when you don't have the uniform, when you don't have the position of power, how's that relationship between humanity and like everyone else? I thought it was so well done. And I think Walker, who I was convinced was going to just get absolutely obliterated, Walker became an incredibly important representative to these non-aligned worlds because, this was televised apparently, or whatever the television equivalent of, because they talked about how, there was going to be shown, they're talking about how he was a former sports corps, fighter, how he was going to be the first human to take part in the Muay Thai. I thought that was awesome because, not only does Walker get recognition in his chosen profession as a prize fighter, as somebody that the first person that did that, that goes the other way too. That news travels in the other direction as well. It goes back to Earth, sure. Could he get a shot at the title? Sure. But it also goes the other way to the non-aligned worlds. Do you know a human fought in the and actually, fought the champion and came, went to a tie? Obviously no one thought that humanity had a chance in this thing. I mean, everyone was like, basically like, no, this is not for humans. Garibaldi was like, dude, you're going to die in this thing, to the point where I'm like, yeah, dude, you can't do this. You're going to die. And he didn't. And Walker did something that I don't think you could do, even in a position of power like Sinclair, and that's get respect. Now, that's not to say they don't respect Jeff. I think they absolutely respect Jeff. But again, it's more like how many of the common, the regular, like everyday citizens of these non-aligned worlds, they're not going to interact with Jeffrey Sinclair. They're not going to interact with Susan Ivanova. They're not going to have that type of touchstone to give respect and understand what humanity is about. But in introducing them into what is apparently a very popular kind of like sports league type thing, or sport in general, and say, oh my God, this guy went toe to toe and tied the champ. He tied Gior. That's insanity. But again, there's a measure of respect in that. I can't believe, I want to see that fight with that human Walker. That does, in my opinion, and then to see the respect at the end, to me, that does a ton for humanity at every level, because even though like the common citizen might watch this and go, oh my gosh, I never thought humans could do that. I guarantee you the upper echelon looks at that too. But I don't think it's relegated to just the non-aligned worlds either. Or like the everyday citizen of those non-aligned worlds. I think that the everyday citizens of the Minbari, of the Narn, of the Centauri, I don't know who knows about the Vorlon, but again, and then the upper echelon. Hey, I heard everybody talking about this human that fought in the Muay Thai and tied the champ. That'll make itself from the bottom up. That's like a trickle up type of, notoriety and reputation. An incredible bit, because I love the idea that this act of being like just a sports hero, so to speak, almost like a folk hero, the very first guy to go in there, human, and go in there and fight that thing, is going to have more of a diplomatic, at least influence or fingerprint, than probably anything that's happened for a while. This is something that could be universally at least looked at. People are going to have their opinions. Humans shouldn't be in it. I can't believe he did so well. I sort of like this guy. But there would be a conversation about it. And in addition to that, much like we talked about Jeffrey, like kind of making, Jeff always goes the extra mile. If he's talking to somebody of a particular faith, he makes sure that he knows they're appropriate. I think of the end of Parliament of Dreams. He's walking through making sure that everybody is represented. He gets everybody's name right. I think about how he makes sure that he knows the different cultural correct things to do whenever he's talking to each of these alien races. Like he knew about Jakar's religious ceremony that he had, making sure, hey, the light from your planet takes 10 years to get here. It'll hit it 12 hours from, knowing all of that and being right about it, not bullshitting or guessing. At the same time, with that type of humanity's got something to offer, he goes the extra mile. I think Walker did something very, very similar and more popular, not because it was liked more. It's just going to be, that news is going to spread more. And I think that's an awesome way to do it. I think that's an awesome way to kind of set a couple things up here, especially people that would have had a different opinion. JMS gave himself a really cool little nugget to use in the future. Like if you meet an alien that might have gone the other way or never really cared for humanity, but says something like, I know that Walker Smith that fought in the Muay Thai. Do you know him? That type of thing. There's a bridge, Walker becomes a conversation piece. Walker becomes that thing that everybody knows about. that thing that could bridge humanity, to name the other non-aligned world alien species race out there that they could talk about. It's a way to like extend the olive branch, extend the hand, extend diplomacy beyond just like the governmental level. These are citizens talking now. This is how do we feel, and we know for a fact that there is. I mean, we've got Home Guard, we've got people that do not want this shit to happen. We had an example of the non-aligned worlds. We had a guy getting ready to dart or kill or do whatever to Walker. So there's going to be pushback against this. There's going to be we don't want any type of interaction. We don't want any type of like melting pot type of thing for Babylon 5. But you might sway a couple hearts and minds because they see Walker, respect what he did, and maybe start to change their opinion about humanity. And I thought it was beautiful to juxtapose this very seemingly violent type of, this blood sport type of thing that's going on with, the saying goodbye and the forgiveness of Susan to her father. I thought that was a really powerful thing for JMS to do because, again, it's almost jarring. You go from like, sitting Shiva to go all the way over to this blood sport, and we're going back and forth. I mean, we're going back punches, talking, everything's quiet, everything's mournful, but it's respectful. We're talking about, the accomplishments of a life. Back, punching, fighting, dropping. Back over here, it's quiet, it's calm, it's dark, it's bright, it's brutal, it's bloody. An incredibly interesting swing between the two stories. I thought the scene with Susan and the rabbi where she broke down was fantastic. I thought it was so good. Definitely, caught me. It really did catch me. And I think that, it told us a lot about Susan. Explains to me now why she never told anybody about using Gold Channel. There's a lot going on, and stuff that she just doesn't want to get into. And, she knows Jeff well enough to know that if he could read from her, if there was any type of like change in her demeanor, like, hey, can I use Gold Channel? Why? Oh, my father's sick. And then if she had a bit of a change, he'd pick up on it. What happened with your dad? She doesn't want to talk about that. And so I understand now why such a stickler for the rules, went around them in that case. It was privacy, but privacy not for privacy's sake, privacy for protection's sake. She's not ready to talk about that, or wasn't at the time. And, definitely didn't. I mean, it wasn't, for her, and this is speculation, I don't think it was difficult because her father died to talk about his death. I think it was difficult to talk about, obviously, the relationship, why she wasn't upset. And that's the last thing somebody wants to explain. You have the death of somebody that everyone else thinks that you should be broken up over, but you're not because there's other things going on. And I think that was again, these characters are by no means two-dimensional. They are incredibly deep. They have actual human responses to things. And this was Susan's this was a defense mechanism. She did not want to talk about this shit at all. In fact, she was literally painted into a corner. Sinclair was like, no, you can take those days off. You should do that. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. And he was, whatever you want, And then the rabbi, and she fought back until it... eventually she realized that something had to be done because really it was for her own good, not necessarily, giving up forgiveness, sure, but also you have to be able to move on. You have to be able to advance. And I thought again, what an amazing thing, an incredible bit of writing that I think the more that I look back on this episode, the more impactful it's going to be. Because it seems not necessarily like a throwaway episode. It seems like hey, we want to tell you more about things that maybe aren't seemingly meshed into the grand scheme of things. But their inclusion now, when you look back on them, could absolutely play a role in the temperature of what's going on with the non-aligned worlds and humanity, the temperature of what's going on with the character of Susan Ivanova. It's very interesting to me that time was taken to tell this side of the story. Normally you would just hit the gas, double down, go for this incredible tale you have. But this was a risk. This was a risk because this is, like I said, the first time we don't have those ambassadors. Jeffrey was kind of removed from this episode. He was definitely playing the supporting role in this. This was a Garibaldi, this was a Susan, definitely a Susan specific, episode where of the humanity crew that we have, those two came to the forefront for the very first time, as opposed to Jeff and one of them. It was those two that came forward. And I love that. And I think that what it does is, for me, and for what I'll end on, is this. It tells a tale that you right now, it's telling you, it's stating in clear black and white terms. We have a story to tell, but we have a specific way we're going to tell it. And we're going to take our time, and you're going to find out why at some point. Friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for some Babylon 5. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and unfortunately, we have to say goodbye from Babylon 5. I do so very reluctantly. Where should we say goodbye from in this episode? And friends, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let you choose where you want to say goodbye from. We had two equally momentous events that happened, as we had, the memoriam for Susan's father, and we also had the blood sport of Walker Smith. Friends, where do you go? How does it affect you? And how does it affect our story? Only time will tell. Until such time, my friends, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.